good, everybody? This your boy Blackout Jones, coming straight at you from Impala Studios once again. Well, scrimmage number 2 is in the books, and Josh Heupel came out with his, of course, press conference after scrimmage number 2 to kind of talk about, what happened in scrimmage, at the scrimmage, what were the positives in the scrimmage, what were the takeaways of this, pretty much their last scrimmage before August 30th, before kickoff. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go deep into that. But before I do, please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. For those that have been subscribing, thank you very much. For those that have tuned in, thank you very much for your support. But let's go ahead and get it. Let's get to it. Because this is just shooting the sports. Let's go. Folks, as I stated before, scrimmage number 2 was in the books, and with the second scrimmage, you expect to see progress, to see growth, to see your quarterbacks getting better, your defense getting a lot better, the overall team, the team overall getting better, and that's what you look forward to. That's what you're hoping for. You don't want to hear the same, rhetoric that you heard from scrimmage number 1, in likes of, the quarterbacks weren't accurate, the playmakers wasn't making plays, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get right to it. Josh Heupel's press conference, he started out, giving congrats to the Lady Vols soccer team for defeating not only the number 1 team in the nation, but the defending NCAA women's soccer team, the North Carolina Tar Heels, last night. They beat them 2-0. Big win for the program. I never really was into or never really heard any big things from Tennessee soccer as far as the women's soccer or even the men's soccer. I don't know if they got one or not, but definitely the women's soccer. I'm pretty sure they do have a men's soccer team. But I did watch the highlights. It had to have been breaking news because it came up on ESPN. And, it's just one of those things, man. You get caught slipping, and this is what happens to you. So, congrats to those. Congrats to the women's soccer team. Hopefully they can, hopefully this is a springboard for success this season. But he basically started out saying that he was excited about what he saw. There's still growth that the team needs to continue to do. He stated that both sides went out and performed really well today. Questions that were being asked, one of the questions was, how well did the quarterbacks do today? The coach stated that the QBs did really well and were very accurate with the football and made great decisions. Also, he was also asked how surprised was he that Deshaun Brame is doing well during fall practice. Me personally, I'm not surprised at all. I've seen the kid's highlights. I've heard a lot of great things about him. The coach basically was stating that he's been a constant professional. And sounds like he's going to get some burn this season. I'm very excited to see what he's going to do among the other tight ends. Sounds like he's going to be part of that rotation. Feel really good about him because he's more like in my view, he might be more like a Kyle Pitts in a way, like a Jason Witten. But Jason Witten, not that might be a stretch. Kyle Pitts, because Kyle Pitts was more of like a hybrid. He was a tight end, but really he was a big wide receiver. He had the speed to go with his size. So that's how I look at Deshaun Brame. Also, they asked him, how would you evaluate Joey Aguilar's progression during fall practice? He said that he handled himself very well with the comfort and control of the offense, even during walkthroughs, and seems very comfortable with the scheme itself. You should expect that definitely from a veteran quarterback like Joey Aguilar. Even though he came in May, even though, he didn't take part in the spring practice, he still put his head down and he put in the work that is necessary to be a great quarterback at the University of Tennessee. Hell, even being a great quarterback on the collegiate level. Then Coach Heupel was also asked about, speaking about how Coach Heupel's quarterbacks in the past weren't too prone to turning the ball over, and that Joey Aguilar is known for being aggressive and throwing a lot of interceptions. In hindsight, basically what he was asking him was, these past couple of years, basically since Coach Heupel has been there, not one quarterback has thrown more than 5 interceptions. They're not prone in turning the ball over. They're pretty much good as far as managing the game, keeping the ball away from the other side, and doing what needs to be done to make that team and the offense successful. So he was just trying to, he was basically like, with Joey Aguilar, his last 2 years at Appalachian State, he's a very aggressive quarterback. He throws with aggression, and he does. So Heupel, he answered and basically stated that there's nothing wrong with being aggressive. There's nothing wrong with trying to throw in tight windows. But sometimes, you got to make sure that your feet are right. You got to make sure your body is positioned correctly and understanding what the defense is giving you, which is very important because you got to understand what you're looking at and what you're seeing in regards to the defense, because you can be aggressive on one end and make the tight throws, and you can be the same aggressive quarterback, make that same type throw. But if you're not paying attention, man, it's the other way, whether it's a pick six or just a turnover period for the other team. They also asked him, what do you want to see from your quarterbacks in the next 2 weeks? He stated that for them to be able to manage the football, like I stated before, manage play clock and game clock situations, controlling the entire offense, and continuing to have positive yardage and making big plays and stay out of the negative plays. Very important, because as we've seen in the past, when we make great plays, we either get a holding call, we'll get a false, not necessarily a false start, but, too many men down the field. We'll do something after a big play. But 9 times out of 10, it's always a holding call for whatever reason. Offensive line has to clean that up this year. Really, they really have to. And Lance Hurd was a big part of that last year. But I think this year, with Lance Hurd, knowing the scheme and what needs to be done, and him, really having an understanding of what he has to do as a offensive lineman, I feel real good about him. So then he was also asked, what do you think has changed the most with the team since day one of fall camp? Understanding the scheme and continued growth. How do you feel how your team has tackled in the last 2 scrimmages? Heupel said we've gotten better with penalties and tackling has been very good. Yeah, I can believe that. You know what I mean? I really can, because this defense, the way they've been, I haven't heard really anything bad about the defense at all. Haven't heard anything bad. As a matter of fact, I've heard that the cornerbacks are looking pretty well now. They're looking pretty good, even without Gerard McCoy. So if that can happen and that D-line do what they need to do, lights out. Lights out. No question. Syracuse, you're going to be in trouble. And a lot of other teams in the SEC and across the board. Anyway, to the next question. Coach, what did you see out of the passing game and the receivers? Coach stated that they did very well, and that Mike Matthews made some big plays along with the tight ends. Very excited. Sounded real good. Like, this press conference compared to the last press conference, things really sound like they're on the up and up, and I'm loving every bit of it. The next question, how do you feel about, what is his reaction to the Adidas deal? And Coach, the way it seemed to me was he likes the Adidas deal. He's very happy with it. He's happy that the fact that, this is a great deal, and that, Adidas is treating us as their flagship program, as their flagship brand. And I'm very excited. The more that I, look into it, the more excited that I am, not only for, the players, for the program, but also for the fans ourselves. Next question was, did Boo get some burn today on defense? Now, they ain't necessarily say burn. That's something that I said. But the way he answered it, he really didn't give you an answer on what he did. Whether it was defense, special team, he just said, my man was out there. He got some work. He did great things. Work can be anything. Hell, he could have just walked from one end to the stadium to the next. Who knows? But he definitely didn't say on defense. And then he was also asked, are you seeing separation with the quarterbacks? Coach is not going to tell you if there's separation or not. Just in his answer, he basically was like, hey, they're doing very well. All of them were, very accurate. They all understand the scheme, this, that, and the third. But questions like that, don't ask them questions. He'll tell you when he need to tell you. And he's probably going to tell you next week, or at least the week leading up to the game. But those type of questions, man, just keep them in your back pocket. Don't ask them type of questions, because you're not going to get the answer that you're hoping that you need to get. And I get it. That's your job. But seriously, you try to fish. Try to fish with him. You try to fish with him, champ. But he didn't bite. But anyway, and then he asked how was, Gerard McCoy coming along. And right now, we've seen it. Gerard McCoy is out there. No, he didn't play in the scrimmage. Of course, he's not going to play. Still rehabbing. But as far as what I'm hearing, he's looking good. He's doing great. And is moving toward, is moving up the way it needs to move up. And I've been hearing rumblings that he may start against ETSU. If not, then you're probably not going to see him in the Georgian game, but who knows? But they're saying if either one of those two don't happen, then you're looking at Mississippi State. All right, let's move on. So then, they asked him, how comfortable do you feel at the running back position, and is this the deepest group that you've had today? He stated that this is the deepest running back room since he has been at UT, and that they have been doing a really great job and did some really nice things in scrimmage today. As fans, we know, since Heupel has came in, Jubilee's had 2 or 3 running backs. This year, I can truly say, Heupel may have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a possible. Like real talk, and a possible. I truly believe that. You got 3 legitimate, and that's Peyton Lewis, Deshaun Bishop, and Star Thomas. But you got a 4th one too. And that could be between either Justin Baker or DeJuan Mars. And I've been hearing DeJuan Mars, he's been balling out, and he ain't waiting on nobody. He's trying to get his. Love it. I love it for the present, and I definitely love it for the future in regards to the running back room. So it's looking good, but it's always been looking good. That's not a surprise to us. Anyway, see what the other question was here. Oh, this one was dumb as hell. I don't even know why they asked this question. Coach, have you seen a player commit to you because of the brand that the team belongs to, like Nike, Adidas, etc., Under Armour? First of all, man, don't ask that question. And then the answer he gave you, like, yeah, not in recent memory. In other words, I'm not going to tell you. Now, is that a thing? Yes. I have heard it not only from my cousin, but no, really from my cousin, because he's in those rooms. He's in those areas. So he knows more than me when it comes to that. But he's told me on many of occasions that only reason why that a player may have went to this school because of the brand, because they had Nike or they had Adidas. Like, that is a real thing. It ain't got nothing to do really with the coach and the school. It's the fact that, yeah, you got what you got. And I like that, and I want to collect that. But I'm still going to play for you. But, yeah, and it might be a coach involvement, but more of the brand, if anything. So, you see a lot of kids now, like Jeremiah Smith, Tristan Keys, those 2 guys have signed to Adidas. And there's going to be more, because it looks like Adidas wants to be the big player when it comes to this brand and when it comes to this NIL revenue sharing. It looks like they want to be a major player in here. So we'll just have to see, because the future is very bright for Adidas. I truly believe that. But anyway, that's pretty much it from the conference. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, let me get this right. That's pretty much it from the conference, from his press conference in regards to scrimmage number 2. What are y'all thoughts? How do y'all feel about, how they are looking right now? Is it expected since it is scrimmage number 2? I also heard, before I end this, that the offense was where they need to be. They're saying it wasn't perfect, but they are where they need to be compared to last scrimmage. But that is expected. That's what practice is for. That's what camps are for. To get better and get better and get better each and every week, each and every day. So there you have it. And, as I said, man, I feel really good about the first game. I feel really good about this season. I saw somebody in my comments one day talking about Tennessee gonna be 5-7. Laughable at best. I mean, that's fine. He's probably an Alabama or Georgia fan. I don't know. Could be him. For all I know, he could be a Kentucky fan. Speaking of Kentucky, man, did y'all see that video or that picture where they took a picture and jumped up in the air holding hands? They got a lot of explaining to do. Road games are going to be tough for the Wildcats this year. There's going to be a lot of posters, a lot of memes. It's going to be a whole lot of funny memes on these guys. I don't even know what to think about that. They need to get out the SEC just for this year. Don't do that no more. But anyway, that's nor here nor. Hey, you know who this is? This your boy Blackout Jones. You know where you at? Just shooting the sports. And then, as I always say when I talk about my Tennessee Volunteers, go big. Oh, wait a minute. I'm about to say, go big or go home. God damn, messed up my own slogan. Go big orange, go Vols. I can't put the symbol up. I got too much in my hands. Y'all be easy.